Hi FlossTube friends, this is Tina Frazier coming to you from Columbus, Ohio. Today is Sunday, October 24th at approximately 8:40 p.m. Eastern Time, and I'm coming to you today with a FlossTube cross-stitching update. So for those of you who have just found my channel, thank you very much for stopping by and taking a peek at what I have to offer. This is my YouTube channel where I talk about cross-stitch and other crafts that I do, mostly diamond painting in the last couple of years and cross-stitch, but I also dabble in other crafts like paper crafting. I like to quill, which is paper filigree. You've probably seen some recent uptick posts in social media about quilling. I do quilling. My grandma taught me back in the 70s. I also do some crochet and some other paper crafts and stuff that I've dabbled in. I've also dabbled in beading, like beading necklaces and jewelry and stuff like that. And also, this is my channel where I talk about some of my other hobbies as well, including ghost hunting, board gaming, video games, and stuff like that. Although, board games and video games, it's kind of hard to do alone on a channel like this, just because usually those are a little more social. And I don't really have the setup to stream video games. Most of my video games that I like to play are pretty much single player video games anyway, like Animal Crossing and stuff like that. So I'm going to be talking to you on my channel about different things that I'm involved in. So again, if you're new to my channel, thank you again for stopping by. Hopefully you'll find something here on my channel that will encourage you or just enable you to get out there and try something new if you've never cross-stitched or anything before. And if you're a returning watcher, thank you very much for coming back. It's good to see friends, and I'm glad that you've decided that you liked what I have to offer. For those of you who subscribe to my channel, thank you very much. I am so glad that my close friends like you stop by and get something out of my channel. For those of you that have not yet subscribed or you're new to the channel, I encourage you to maybe watch a few of my other videos to see if this is something that you would like to be notified when I upload new content. Go ahead and click the subscription button below and then click the notification bell so you're notified when I upload new content. Unfortunately, the last video that I recorded was about a month ago. I was doing pretty good, uploading about once a week for a while there, and then it kind of went to every 2 weeks. You'll have to pardon the noise upstairs. I think my husband is doing a little bit of cleaning up in the living room right above me. But anyway, so yeah, so if you click the notification bell, you'll be notified when I upload new content. Like I was saying, recently my uploads have been kind of sporadic. Bear with me just a minute, my nose is itching. Okay, so I'm back. I just had to itch my nose a little bit. But anyway, my uploading or my upload schedule isn't exactly set in stone. Like I said, my last video that I recorded was uploaded a couple weeks ago, but it was recorded about a month ago. So unfortunately, I did not get it uploaded really quick, and a lot has changed since then. Along with my allergies kicking in after my trip, I have dry lips, so you'll probably be seeing me add some chapstick. This one is a Hello Kitty soft lips, and this is natural lip balm. This one is gingerbread. I got it for Christmas last year. It's not going to focus. There we go. Just a little natural lip balm. So you'll probably see me add some as we go along. But anyway, I encourage you to click the subscription button and also the notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload new content. I'm going to try... October was a weird month. September and October was a weird month for me. It was really busy, so my uploading schedule is kind of crazy, and plans are constantly evolving for the rest of October. We have a week left in October, and then I'm going to be busy planning out November plans and Thanksgiving plans and Christmas plans and work plans and stitching plans for 2022, which I'll get to later in this video, and all that. So that was my intro. So in this video, I'm going to be going through some life updates because I've had some things happen since my last video. I'm going to talk a little bit about some plans coming up, including future plans for 2022. I'm going to share some haul with you and also give some stitching updates on projects. I was just clicking a pen, sorry about that. And that's pretty much about it. That's, you know, this video could be a little long because it has been about 4 weeks since I've uploaded a video or recorded a video. So I encourage you now, take a quick break, grab something to drink, grab some popcorn, grab a snack, grab dinner, whatever, grab your stitching, stitch along as I talk. And yeah, so it's good to see you again. All right, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is a little bit of life updates. I'm looking down at my notes. I have notes here. I can't find my YouTube notebook. So, oh, my husband's just dropping things upstairs, so you'll hear it. So we're going to go into some life updates. So earlier this month, my husband and I attended Origins Game Fair. Origins Game Fair is an international game convention that happens here in Columbus, usually in every June, over about 4 or 5 days. And this year, because of the pandemic, last year's Origins Game Fair was canceled. This year's Origins Game Fair was originally scheduled for June, and they pushed it back to October. So October, the first weekend in October, September 30th through October 3rd, was Origins Game Fair. And my husband and I went downtown, had a blast, had a really good weekend, bought quite a few games, and played a lot of games with some friends that we haven't seen in quite a long time. It was good, a good fun experience. We save up all our change every year and take our change to the bank beforehand and go with quite a bit of spending money. So we have, you know, we have some new board games that we're going to be teaching Mom how to play. So we're really excited for that. So that was a fun weekend. This last weekend, I said in my last video that my husband and I, we were supposed to go to Arkansas for my niece's wedding. My oldest half-sister, who passed away in 2003, her oldest daughter was getting married. And it was my niece down in Arkansas. She was having it at my ex-stepmother's house. And so I had made plans with my husband to go down there. Unfortunately, the Friday before we left, our dog Rose was a little sick, and the vet put her on antibiotics for 10 days. So my husband had to stay behind and finish up her antibiotic treatment this last weekend. So I ended up making the drive down to Arkansas from Columbus, Ohio. It was about 11 hours, give or take. And I went to my niece's wedding. It was a great time, and I got to see family that I haven't seen in 18 years. My niece, who got married, was 7 the last time I saw her, and just absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It was a great time. Had a blast. Met up with some good friends, and I also got to visit some stitchy shops, so I will talk to you a little bit about that for a minute. Here is a picture of their wedding cake. Really simple wedding cake with some red roses on it. It was really good wedding cake. Here is a picture. Here's a picture. Oops. Here's a picture of the bride and groom. Sorry, it's a little blurry. There we go. Here's a picture of the bride and groom. She looks just like my sister did when my sister was her age. Yeah, so it was beautiful. And then here is my oldest half-sister, my now only half-sister, my sister and her daughter. from Arkansas. So this is family I got to hang out with. It was really great visiting with them. So yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited that I got to see family and reconnect. It was a great time. The drive was super special. I left Thursday, just before lunchtime on Thursday, made the drive down. I stayed in Jackson, Tennessee, which is between Nashville and Memphis. I think it was on I-65. Was it I-65? Might have still been I-40. I'm not exactly 100% sure if it was I-40 or I-65. I'd have to look. But I stayed in Jackson after eating dinner at Loretta Lynn's kitchen. So that was kind of fun. Let me get back here. So yeah, I did eat dinner at Loretta Lynn's kitchen on Thursday night because I was stopped there. It was kind of cool. I wasn't sure I had enough time or enough energy to drive to Jackson, because I was about an hour away when I stopped. But here is me with a picture of Loretta Lynn. So there's that. Whoops. There is another thing. I was at Loretta Lynn's kitchen. The food was really good. It was home cooking. Another picture of Loretta Lynn's kitchen. It was pretty good. I had grilled chicken, mashed potatoes and brown gravy. This is cream corn and then green beans. The cream corn was excellent, you guys. Homemade cream corn. I love a good cream corn. But yeah, so I stayed in Jackson, Tennessee, and then made it on over to Arkansas the next day on Thursday. So I got into Arkansas about like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Couldn't really check in to my hotel until after 2 o'clock. Still had about an hour. So I drove 45 minutes or so. It was roughly about 30, 35 miles. Drove about 40, 45 minutes or so over to Conway, Arkansas, to the Stitcher's Garden. So I stopped in at the Stitcher's Garden in Conway, Arkansas. I'm going to be posting these pictures for you at the end of the video that I took at the Stitcher's Garden. But I stopped in at the Stitcher's Garden in Conway, Arkansas. They are open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And it's a really gorgeous, huge cross-stitch store in Conway, Arkansas. So if you're in the area, I encourage you to go to Conway, Arkansas and visit the Stitcher's Garden. So that was my Thursday. That was my Friday. Then Friday night, I got invited over to the house for the rehearsal dinner and just hanging out with the bridal party and family that I haven't seen in forever. Saturday morning, I got up and I wanted to make a couple of trips somewhere, so I went driving around. Then I went back to the hotel room. I got my wedding stuff and I headed over to my ex-stepmom's house where that wedding was being held, and hung out all the afternoon until the wedding at 3 o'clock. And then I hung out probably until almost midnight at the house, because the wedding and the reception was at my ex-stepmom's house. It was really nice getting to meet everybody and see everybody and talk to everybody again. It was really great. I got to reconnect with my half-sister the whole weekend. Sunday, I hung out with the bridal party. I got invited out to brunch with all their friends and them. We went to a brunch restaurant in Little Rock. I don't remember, Yaya's? Something like that. Anyway, it was a nice, really, really fancy brunch buffet with mimosas and stuff on Sunday. And then the new groom's parents invited everybody that wanted to come over for dinner that night around 3:30. So we headed about another hour away from where the restaurant was in Little Rock to the groom's parents' house, kind of out in the middle of the woods, and hung out for the afternoon. I got back to the hotel probably, I don't know, 6 o'clock. And my half-sister and I, we were supposed to, or my sister and I were supposed to get together that night. I was going to have her come over to the hotel and stay with me that night, but I was just too tired. She was just too tired. And so instead we made plans to, I made plans to pick her up by 8:30 in the morning on Monday. And we went to breakfast together, spent 2 or 3 hours talking. And then I got to see her house. I just got to hang out with her some more. And that was probably one of the best things of the whole weekend, was just hanging out with my sister. And then also getting to see my other sister's oldest daughter get married. That was really great. Since my oldest sister couldn't be there because, well, she passed away in 2003. But it was just really great reconnecting with family. Had a great time. The drive there was pretty uneventful. There was some traffic and stuff, but you know, it wasn't too bad. And on the way home on Monday, I stopped, I think I stopped somewhere in Nashville, maybe just outside of Nashville. No, I actually made it into Kentucky. That's right. I stayed in Bowling Green, Kentucky on my way back home. And then I drove the rest of the way to Columbus through Cincinnati. And while I was in Cincinnati, I stopped at Keepsakes Framing and Cross Stitch. Everybody that is on YouTube and follows Pam and Steph from Just Keep Stitching are familiar with Keepsakes. And I stopped in because I hadn't been before. And it was on the way home. I had a few hours, you know, I figured I'd stop in. And I got to fangirl a little bit because I got to meet Stephanie. She was in there working on the computer in the little back room. But it was nice seeing not Just Keep Stitchin'. It was nice seeing Keepsakes and getting to talk to the ladies working there, including Stephanie. And I will include the pictures of both the Stitcher's Garden and the visit to Keepsakes on my way home at the end of this video for you, so you can kind of see some of the places that I visited this week. It was a lot of fun, had a great time. I was dog tired when I got home though. This past week was also my work week in the office. So I actually didn't go into the office until Wednesday. So I was in there Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And Wednesday I was pretty much suffering from a road trip hangover. Yeah. I hadn't taken a road trip like that in a long time. Haven't taken a road trip alone like that since 2003. Or no, it's been since then. Because my aunt died, who lived in Fayetteville, Arkansas. And I drove there 2001, September 11th. It's been a long time. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've had that kind of a road trip. But it was a great time. Had a blast. And went to work in the office on Wednesday with a road trip hangover. I normally have 1 cup of coffee and sip on it for a couple of hours. Within the 3rd hour, I was most of the way through my 2nd cup of coffee. Yeah, I was suffering from a road trip hangover. It was a lot of fun though. Really glad I got to reconnect. My sister and I have made a pact that we are gonna stay close and just be there for each other, because there was some things that I learned about that side of my family that, you know, we just learned a lot about each other, and a little bit of eye-opening stuff, so it was kind of fun. Alright, so I talked about Origins Game Fair, talked about Arkansas. Those of you that are into Hallmark movies may know that the countdown to Christmas, the Hallmark countdown to Christmas, has started. You can get this online. It's hashtag countdown to Christmas. You can get the latest schedule, Hallmark Channel. The new episodes, or the new movies for 2021 started Friday. Yep. So the new one for tonight is out. It's called The Santa Stakeout, in case you're interested. So if you're interested, the movie channel, Hallmark Channel Countdown to Christmas, is officially started, you guys. So Mom and I kind of tend to watch them. The movies have all the same plots. So you watch one movie, you've probably seen 90% of them. Then, you know, little tweaks here and there, but they're kind of fun. You know, they're just filler so you can sit and stitch and not really pay attention much because, you know, once you watch one, you kind of know the plots for all the rest of them. So anyway, that's going on. I'm kind of big into video games, a little bit. One of my video games that I like to play is Animal Crossing New Horizons. I have a Nintendo Switch, and I'm pretty much into Animal Crossing. That's the one I've been playing the longest and the most out of all the games that I have that are video games. I also like The Sims, but The Sims is on PC. But I've been playing Animal Crossing. So there was a new Nintendo Direct that came out probably about 2 weeks ago or so, give or take. And they announced a new update was coming out November 5th. And they're going to be adding some neat features to it that are kind of missing. Like Brewster's Coffee Shop is coming to the museum. There's going to be some other updates to the game that are free. And then they also announced that there's going to be downloadable content called the Happy Home Paradise. Downloadable content is going to be an add-on for your game where you can actually go, it's like Happy Home Designer for Animal Crossing, where you could design people's homes and design a little town. It's going to be the same type of thing, but you're going to be designing people's vacation homes, and it's going to be kind of an extension of Animal Crossing New Horizons. So apparently some of the things that you can use in Happy Home Paradise is going to translate over into your game, so you can actually use some of the furniture and stuff in one that you get in the other. So that's exciting. Those updates and the DLC come out November 5th. So that was kind of an interesting update. I'm looking forward to that, and I do plan on purchasing Happy Home Paradise to go along with my Animal Crossing thing. I just need to make sure that I have enough Nintendo eShop points or money so I can do that. Little side note, I kind of want to tell a little story here. Here in Columbus, I don't know if this is like this anywhere else, but here in Columbus, the Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Committee, MORPC or MORPC, does something stupid with trick-or-treating. Halloween is on October 31st. You would think trick-or-treating would happen on October 31st. Not in Columbus. They have Beggars Night, quote-unquote Beggars Night, which, depending on when Halloween falls, will determine what day everybody goes trick-or-treating. And not every community, even in central Ohio, around the Columbus area, not every community trick-or-treats on the same night. It's really stupid. Our trick-or-treat in our area is on Thursday, October 28th, from 6:30 to 8:30, or 6 to 8, or 5:30 to 8:30, something like that. I have always thought that was the stupidest thing ever. I grew up, trick-or-treat was always on Halloween. October 31st is when you go trick-or-treating. I've always hated the fact that Columbus doesn't trick-or-treat always on the 31st. Because the 31st is on Sunday this year, they're doing it. Most of the communities here in Columbus are doing trick-or-treat of some sort on Thursday, the 28th. That being said, so I have a little confession. All right, we're going into Halloween confession time. Ooh. I'm going to have to change the name of my FlossTube. Well, this is FlossTube number 121, by the way. I was going to name it All the Booze, B-O-O-S. All the Booze, not really. Maybe I'll just name it Halloween Confessions, because this is what I'm going to get into right now. So, speaking of trick-or-treating, so, little reminiscing about some of my favorite costumes. Through college, I was the Grim Reaper. I always painted my own face as this, as the skull. I had a black hood, and I carried around a foam or a broomstick with a foam sickle on the end of it. Yeah, so I was the Grim Reaper. I painted my face as a skull and everything like that. And I went as that probably 8-10 years in a row through college and whatnot. So, real quick question for you. Down in the comments below, how old were you when you stopped trick-or-treating?
Tina?
Hold on just a minute. So, sorry about that. I had to pause and take care of my laundry that was ready to go in the dryer upstairs. So, anyway, back to my story. So, I had just asked, how old were you when you stopped trick-or-treating? So, I have a confession. I was 23 the last time I went trick-or-treating. Yes, I was 23 when I last went trick-or-treating. Now, I'm not talking about taking someone's kids and waiting on the sidewalk while they walked up and knocked on the door. I was the one with the pillowcase knocking on people's doors that still had their porch lights on, begging for candy on Halloween. Yes, I trick-or-treated until I was 23. So, that is my Halloween confession, you guys. So this week is trick-or-treat night on the 28th of October. One of my favorite Halloween costumes, I went as the Oompa Loompa from the TV room in the white outfit with the orange stripes down the side and the little orange pom-poms on the booties. Yeah, I went as an Oompa Loompa one year to a friend's Halloween party. I was the Grim Reaper through college, and it was a great time. I had a great time. In college, the guys in my dorm, on my floor specifically, knew that I was going trick-or-treating, so they would meet me in the lobby, and they would wait for me in the lobby, and I would get back and they'd sit, one of them would massage my shoulders, one of them would massage my feet, they'd have hot cocoa ready for me, and we'd spend a couple hours after I got back going through the 3 to 5 pillowcases of candy that I got. Because I was out trick-or-treating so late, usually sometime after 11 p.m., they would be ready for me, because they'd get a lot of the candy that I didn't want to eat. And it was near finals too, so it made it really great for finals week, you know, because I'd bring them all the candy. So they would just make sure that I was comfortable and happy and safe as well. So it was a lot of fun. But yeah, I trick-or-treated until I was 23. My husband is the reason why I stopped. He put his foot down and he said, no, you won't go trick-or-treating anymore. If it were up to me, I'm 50 today, I would probably still be out trick-or-treating, getting my own candy. I'm 4'11", you guys. I'm not very tall. I could probably still get away with it, but my husband won't let me try. Damn him. Alright, so anyway, that is my Halloween confession. Just let me know in the comments how old you were when you stopped trick-or-treating. That is also why if we get teens and older people that come up to our door in costume to ask for candy on trick-or-treat night, we won't turn them away. We'll give them candy still. And I never tell anybody that they're too old to trick-or-treat, because you're only as old as you feel in your heart. Okay? So, I will never turn away kids or teens or, you know, young adults that come around trick-or-treating just because. Alright. So, I did that. Halloween confession. Alright. So, plans, updates, haul. Okay, so, let's go into haul. Alright. So, I'm kind of going to go into some of the older haul that I've gotten since my last video back in mid-September, and show you some of the haul that I got at the Stitcher's Garden, and also the haul that I got at Keepsakes in Cincinnati on my trip last weekend. So, let's get into haul. All right. So my local needle workshop here in Columbus is Cross My Heart, and in the same shopping center as Cross My Heart was a business called the Yarn Shop, and they were mostly a knitting and crochet shop, but they did have some needlepoint stuff and some other things, because they did carry like you know, wool floss and stuff like that for some needlepoint. They had a very limited supply of needlepoint canvases and stuff, but they did have some stitching supplies. Well, the owner of the yarn shop announced last month, or probably July or August, it's probably July or August, that they were going to retire and that they were closing the store down. So the store has been selling off most of everything in the store, including the fixtures, over the last couple of months. And before, I believe it was the weekend before I went to Arkansas, so 2 weeks ago now, they had announced that it would be the last weekend the store was open. So I had some time to go shopping that Friday, and I decided I was going over to Cross My Heart, my local needle workshop, to go shopping for the afternoon, before my trip, and B, just to check in with them about Camp GottaStitch coming up next weekend. And I stopped in at the yarn shop, and I'm actually really glad I did. Don't mind the crinkle, I just gotta get some stuff out. So I had mentioned that the yarn shop carries needlework supplies, and so they had 40% off of most everything in the shop. And so I picked up some things that I wasn't expecting to pick up, you guys. These are scroll rods. Yes, they're the basting scroll rods for cross stitch, but they're in sizes I don't have. I have 2 or 3, probably about 3 24-inch scroll rod frames, and at least 2 36-inch scroll rod frames, you guys. They had these in a little bin, kind of tucked in a corner, underneath some of their needlepoint canvases that they still had. This one is from, I can't read it because the stickers come off, or the stickers taking the label off. Yeah, I can't read it, what it's from, but it's a scrollette. This is a complete 4-inch scroll frame. You see that? It's a 4-inch. Oh, it's a Grip It. I think it's Grip It brand. Grip It Plus Inc. 125 South Street Northwest, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Grip It. You know the Grip It floor frames? This is a Grip It 4-inch scroll frame. You guys, look at that. There's the scrolls that you attach your fabric to, your stitchy fabric. Now, I'm not sure if this is intended to be a finishing scroll frame, but I have a 4-inch scroll frame. Who has, you know, this is for those little pieces, those little like Christmas pieces and stuff. So this is an Easy Stitch brand 6-inch scroll rods. I don't have the stretcher bars for the sides yet. I have a couple I can use for them. Look at this. 6-inch scroll rod, you guys, and it has the basting fabric on it. This is Easy Stitch. I do have the Easy Stitch hook and loop system, the no-based hook and loop system for the scroll rods. I'm going to be taking off the basting strips on these and removing the staples and putting on the Velcro so I can use these, but I have 6-inch scroll rods. I have Easy Stitch 10-inch scroll rods, which is the same. They have the basting strips, and I also have the wing nuts. The 6 inches, the 6-inch ones don't have the wing nuts. The 10-inch ones do have the wing nuts in there, but I have 10-inch scroll rods. These ones are from Franklin Scrolls, fine hardwood scrolls for the needle artist, out of Wausau, Wisconsin. These ones are 12-inch. I have 12-inch scroll rods. Again, with the basting fabric on it. I'm going to be taking the basting fabric off and adding the Easy Stitch, no baste, Velcro hook and loop system to them. And 14-inch Franklin Scrolls scroll rods. So, these are what I picked up at the yarn shop near my needle workshop. So I have really tiny scroll frame rods, you guys. I'm kind of excited about that. That was a good find. That was a really good find. Really excited about that. So, sad to say, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to call the yarn shop to find out if they have any more. I picked out all the small ones that they had. They had a few large ones left, but I already had some of the sizes that they did. Like I said, I already have a couple of 24 inches and a couple of 36 inches, which is what they had as well. I think I should have picked up a couple of their stretcher bar kits, because I think the stretcher bars would go good with Mill Hill perforated paper kits, you know, because you can then just tack the perforated paper onto the stretcher bars and use those as a frame. Probably should have picked up 1 or 2 sets of the stretcher bars that they had, but I wasn't really thinking. I wasn't really expecting to spend, you know, 30 bucks or so at the yarn shop picking up scroll rods either, but I did. So then later after I visited the yarn shop and was done there, I went over to Cross My Heart. And so while I was at Cross My Heart that day, Carol Grant, one of the owners of Cross My Heart, one of the co-owners of Cross My Heart, she has a pattern design company named under the name of Fireside Originals. She has designed a couple of the first release in this series was a Easter set of chicks, and she has released another 2 sets of chicks. So I got her Fireside Originals, a couple of summer chicks. Look at the one with the floaty tube and the sailboat. Those are buttons, by the way. I haven't picked up the buttons for them, but yeah, it's got a sailboat button, and the other one has a baseball glove and bat. And you'll notice too that they're named. The one with the inner tube is Patricia, and the one with the baseball hat is Emily. There's a story behind why the one with the baseball hat's called Emily. But then here is the Fireside Originals, couple of autumn chicks. Look at them, aren't they cute? And you have Titania and Jenny. So there's a story behind Jenny as well. Alright, so before I get into the story behind Emily, I will tell you Jenny is the other shop owner for Cross My Heart. She's a real big Ohio State Buckeye fan, especially football. So you'll see here this chick is standing over a football and has a football helmet on. That is why they named it Jenny, because Jenny is the big Ohio State fan and co-owner of Cross My Heart here in Columbus. So while there, one of the big well-known people in Cross My Heart in the stitching community, especially here in Columbus, her name was Emily Van, and she had a design company called EJV Designs. Emily J. Van Designs, EJV Designs. And she passed away in January. She had been fighting some pretty serious health issues for a while and was finally ready to go. So she passed away in January. Great loss to Cross My Heart. She was well loved by the people that knew her, and she was just a great personality, great friend, and everything. So Cross My Heart has been helping her mom kind of pack things up and prepare to move, because her mom was moving, but they were packing things up, helping her mom prepare to move, so they were getting some of Emily's stuff out. This was a needle minder that Emily designed, and they had it for sale, so I picked it up. Look at that cat, you guys. That cat is just cute. Cute as a button. Is a little button, but it's a needle minder. So I picked up EJV Designs needle magnet. Looking forward to using that. So I was going to tell you, over here, Emily was a big baseball fan for EJV Designs. Emily was a big baseball fan, and I believe she was a Cubs fan. So this is why this bird is named Emily. It's in memory of Emily J. Van. Yep. So there you go. That was my, oh, and I also picked up Petite Treasure Braid in black. So I picked up two things, a Petite Treasure Braid in black. A lot of people use Petite Treasure Braid instead of Krynic, because Krynic is a little fussy to use. So they will substitute Petite Treasure Braid by Rainbow Gallery for those pieces that calls for Krynic. So I picked up two of those. And that was my haul from Cross My Heart. The day that I went to the yarn shop before my trip. I forgot to tell you too, also at the yarn shop they had some buttons. I picked up 2 of each of these buttons because I'm going to turn them into needle minders. I'm going to give one of these to my mom, and I'm going to give one set to my mom and keep one set. But I got this little blue sheepy. This little blue sheep. Isn't he cute? And then I got this little white sheep. This little white sheep. So I have a little blue sheep and a little white sheep. I'm going to make a matching needle. I have another pair. So I'm going to be making needle minders for my mom and I. I thought those were cute. She doesn't know they're coming yet. I'm probably going to make it as part of a Christmas thing for Mom. But that was also what I got at the yarn shop. Those of you that have been watching my channel for a while also know that I'm in the GaRon Tottenbags Grime Guard of the Month Club. I will put their information down below to their Facebook group and their website for the GaRon Tottenbags, Grime Guard, and Project Bag of the Month that you can join. I got my October Grime Guard. It is after October 5th, so I am okay to show it. I've seen some of the project bags, so I know what the fabric is for this. Don't mind the crinkle. I do get the 11 by 11 grime guards. They will fit, the grime guards will fit both round frames, round hoops, and Q-snaps. You can use them both because it's round. It's round, you guys. See? It's round. It'll fit Q-snaps and round hoops. So even though they market them for Q-snaps, they will fit round hoops. But I do get the 11 by 11 size, and this fabric is really cute. Look at that. It's Frankenstein and a mummy and Dracula. Look at that, you guys. Isn't that cute? Yes, that is very cute. And as always, it smells absolutely wonderful. So that is my October GaRon Tottenbags Grime Guard of the Month. Thank you, Gary and Ronnie, for that. Appreciate it. I also get Crazy Annie Stitchin Fabric of the Month Club this year. Last year, the Fabric of the Month Club was Picture This Plus fabric. This year, it's Color and Cotton fabric. You'll know, if you've been around the stitching community for a long time, you know that a lot of places are having issues getting fabric and flosses that they use to dye, to hand dye. So this month's Color and Cotton fabric, well, So Crazy Annie's Stitchin' Fabric of the Month has been delayed. This is the August Fabric of the Month. I haven't yet got September and October. I'm waiting on those. Hopefully they'll come soon. But this is Color and Cotton hand-dyed fabric. The color is Petunia, and I'm getting Edinburgh's 36 count linen. This is the August 2021, and it's called Petunia. It's a little brighter pink than it's coming out in the light. My light in here kind of washes things out. But yeah, it washes things out. I'm trying to get it. That's pretty close right there. That's a pretty close pink. But I have a pretty big piece, 36 count pink. I have a couple of things that I have in mind maybe to go on this. Some Eastery spring stuff maybe. That might be kind of cute to stitch on that. So that is the August Fabric of the Month that I got earlier this month or late September. So that is my Fabric of the Month for that. I can throw those. Oh, that's just my zipper pull that broke. So I'm going to turn that into a needle minder. I have a little bag that I use for my cards and my money when I'm not carrying my purse around with me. I have a little pouch, and it's a Totoro from My Neighbor Totoro, Studio Ghibli. It's Japanese animation, and this little zipper pull came off of it. This is a little Totoro carrying a bag of nuts. Yep. And this little zipper pull came off of my bag. So I think I'm gonna add a magnet to the back of it and turn it into a needle minder. So I'll have another Totoro needle minder. So that is my haul from Cross My Heart, Crazy Annie Stitchin', GaRon Tottenbags, and the Yarn Shop. Alright. So now we get into the haul. So I'm going to go through the Stitcher's Garden haul first. Okay. Bear with me just a minute. Okay, that was from Keepsakes. Yep. Alright. Sorry about that, you guys. Sorry, not sorry. I'm just going to get it all out of the bag so you guys can bask in the glory of all my stitching haul. Sorry about the crinklies. Alright, so as I said, on my trip to Arkansas for, yeah, those were from there. Why is that sticking? Oh, because of other magnets. Alright. There's some freebies too. The Stitcher's Garden. So I went to the Stitcher's Garden. This is a bumper sticker. Out of my way, I'm going to the Stitcher's Garden, Conway, Arkansas. Here's their phone number. It's, sorry, it's backwards, 501-513-1851. This is technically a bumper sticker. So they gave me a bumper sticker for the Stitcher's Garden in Conway, Arkansas. That's where I went. Really nice shop. Really great shop. You'll see the pictures at the end of the video. I picked up a couple of freebies that they had lying around. This is Gingerman, Merry Christmas, Y'all, by Lanyap Designs. Lagniappe. Lanyap Designs. Little gingerbread. This one is from the Blue Flower. It's called The Meow the Merrier 2021. This is from the Blue Flower, Meow the Merrier. These are free. And this is the Nashville 2020 freebie. This was from Teresa Kogut, Creative Whims Inc. Create every day. So those were the free patterns that they had just kind of laying around. I picked them up. This was at Stitcher's Garden. So, one of the ladies that was in there stitching when I was there, she was working on an Autumn Lane project. And I went over to one of the spinner racks that they had that had Autumn Lane, and I saw this. And it was really pretty. This is, I think, only the second or maybe third Autumn Lane pattern that I own. This one is called Something Wicked This Way Comes. Look at that, you guys. So I picked this up. Something Wicked This Way Comes. This uses all DMC. Its stitch count's 140 by 196 on 28 count. The called for fabric is Haunted by Picture This Bless. I did not pick up any of the fabric for this, but I think if I do stitch it, I'm going to try and find a yellow glow-in-the-dark for the house, and then do the pumpkins, the ghosts, and the moon, and then all the stuff down here. I might try and get a green glow-in-the-dark for that. But yeah, I thought that was just really cute. Something Wicked This Way Comes. I don't think I'm going to start it this week because, well, we only have a week left until Halloween, so this might be a start for next year. And then many of you guys have seen this Nora Corbett piece. It's one of the fairies, the Bewitching Pixies. You've probably seen it. They had this as a shop model or as a model in the store, and I really like it. I like the pumpkins. It was beautiful. They did, the one that they had wasn't on the called for fabric, but it was beautiful nonetheless. So I've been wanting this one for a little while, and I just happened to pick it up when I was in Arkansas. I could have gotten this at my local needlework shop here in town, but I just picked this up there. So I'd remember that I got this in Conway, Arkansas. But look at that. I got Nora Corbett. This one is Luna. Yep. Luna. And they had a rather wide range of fabrics there. In packages and not in packages. This is my very first ever Mystic fabric. This is called Haley's Garden, and it's 40 count. I got a 1/4 yard. Mystic Fabrics, Haley's Garden, y'all. Look at this. Just look at it. Isn't that spectacular, you guys? It's 40 count. I'm going to be able to do a lot on this fabric. Here's the other side for effect. Look at this. Beautiful fabric. So I'm going to see if I have something fallish to kind of put on this for next year. But really excited to have my first ever Mystic fabric. This one jumped off the wall and into my hand, literally, in the video. Beautiful fabric. They had a lot of fabric at the Stitcher's Garden. It was a really great place to visit. If you're ever in Conway, Arkansas, or near Conway, Arkansas, I suggest you make however long the trip to go up and take a couple hours, because it'll take you quite a long time. They have a thread room, you guys. All the specialty and overdyeds and silks. They have MPI silks, all kinds of stuff. They even have some sulkies on hand, and they have all kinds of really good threads and stuff. You should go. You really should go. The Stitcher's Garden. I'm going to put this up here. It's backwards. The Stitcher's Garden in Conway, Arkansas. They do have a Facebook page. I will put their Facebook page below as well. The Stitcher's Garden in Conway, Arkansas. 501-513-1851. They're open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5. So that was my haul from the Stitcher's Garden. And as I said on my way home, I stopped in Cincinnati to Keepsakes. And at Keepsakes, I got to meet Stephanie. Stephanie was in the back room working on, I'm assuming she was working on StitchCon invoices and whatnot, because she was working on the computer. So I kind of peeked in because I heard somebody in the back room on the computer that I didn't hear talking. I peeked in and I started sitting there. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to bother her. She's working. So I wandered around a little bit, and the one lady that was sitting at the fabric cutting table, and she was working through some inventory, some new inventory that had come in. I said, yeah, I saw Stephanie back there. I didn't want to interrupt her. And I was like, Stephanie, can you be bothered? She's like, sure, anything for anybody that wants to, you know, meet me and whatnot. So she came out and she met me. She knew who I was. She goes, it's great to put a face to a name. I was like, she knows who I am. I was fangirling inside, but trying to keep my composure. But yeah, I was fangirling a little bit because I got to meet Stephanie from Just Keep Stitchin. But anyway, so, you know, we shook hands and stuff, and she's like, well, thank you for coming. I was like, well, thank you for, you know, stopping your work and everything. So I let her get back to work, and I wandered around the shop for about another 45 minutes to an hour. And when I was done checking out and I was getting ready to leave, I kind of went towards the little room in the back, and I was like, Stephanie, can I bother you for another minute or two? She's like, sure, I'd like to take my picture. I'd like to take our picture. She's like, okay, great, that would be great. So she came out and took my picture. So you'll see a couple of snippets of things that I took at Keepsakes, along with the picture I took with Stephanie from Just Keep Stitching at the end of the video. So anyway, on to my stash. They had these pens here, Keepsakes Cross Stitch. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, Keepsakes Cross Stitch. There is the contact information for them. And this has the little soft tip for, whatchamacallit, really pretty green something in the middle here. But yeah, it's like a tablet pen. Haven't used this pen yet, but that's going to go on my stitching stuff. So not really sure, you know, what that is. I thought maybe it had a light on the end of it. I don't know, but I got this neat little pen. They had a big basket of them laying there. They also carry some sulkies. So I got white and black sulky thread. These are the 12 weight threads that you use one strand of. The one strand is equivalent to almost 2 strands of DMC. So I got white and black to try out. I also picked up 2 colors of DMC that I needed for various projects. I got 471 and 747. They had a set of, I'm going to have to glue these, but they had a set of needle minders. Had a whole big tray, the little muffin pan, actually. Actually, it wasn't a little muffin pan. It was one of those like 18 muffins or 24 muffins pans. But anyway, so those of you that have watched Just Keep Stitchin' or know about Keepsakes know that they have a shop cat. And the shop cat is black. Unfortunately, I did not get to meet the shop cat. The shop cat was downstairs in the basement or outside. So I didn't get to meet the shop cat when I was there. But somebody had made a ton of needle minders. Now you'll see kind of embossed in there. So, oops. Kind of embossed in here is the number 310. So you can see that the shop cat, because it's black, its name is 310. DMC 310 is black. So the shop cat is 310. So I got this needle minder. I got mom one too. Hers has a white flower. They had some with flowers, some with bows, some with flowers and bows. I just kind of like this flower. It was kind of cute. Sorry about that, you guys. There we go. I really liked that flower. So I got a 310 needle minder. I'm going to have to get the magnets on the back to stick a little bit better. Some of you have probably also seen these. They had these for sale, so I bought Mom and I each 4. So these are magnetized, and basically they're intended to hold your fabric, your extra fabric that isn't in your hoop being stitched, or your scroll frame, or your Q-snaps. They're intended to hold the extra fabric. So you basically roll your fabric up and put these on either side of your fabric onto your scroll frame. And the other thing is, you can use them also as needle minders because they're magnetic. So, and they're pretty strong too. So you can use these as needle minders as well. So I got a set of 4. I got a set of 4. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I got a set of 4 for both my mom and I. I got all gray. They had gray and black and a few green. But, so I got a set of 4 of these because I want to try these out. I know a lot of people use these on their projects. So I got some of those. All of the freebies that are kind of hanging out around various places in the shop are on cardstock. So anytime you're walking around Keepsakes and you see something that's on cardstock, it is a free pattern. Unless, of course, the pattern has a price sticker on it. But all the stuff on cardstock is a free pattern. So I picked up 3 free patterns while I was there. This one is by Cherrywood Design Studios. This is called So Thankful, and it's got a couple of little pumpkins. It's a little teeny, it's a little teeny kind of fall thing. It says So Thankful, and it is from Kathy Haberman and Teresa Curry of Cherrywood Design Studios. I don't know if Kathy Haberman is still designing with Teresa Curry under Cherrywood Design Studios, but here is the So Thankful. This is copyright 2011. I just saw that somewhere. Where is it? Copyright 2011. So Thankful. Cherrywood Design Studios. This is another freebie from Banker's Gray, Midnight, Bayberry, and Claret. Okay. Compliments of For My Boys. The number 4, My Boys. Nancy Wigman with For My Boys. It's the number 4, My Boys. MYBOYS. At stitchwig@aol.com. So this is called Hang 'em Ups, Never Enough Stash. Never Enough Stash. Thought that was really cute. And then, of course, Keepsakes has a pattern. This is by Empanamam. I'm guessing. This is just a generic cat. 310. Isn't that cat cute? Look at that cat. That cat's just absolutely cute. So, these were free patterns that were just kind of hanging out at Keepsakes. So those of you that watch the Rebel Stitcher here on YouTube may also know that she used to be in the Cincinnati area. And she has a line of needle minders and other notions and stuff that she sells now, including stickers and whatnot. So Keepsakes has quite a selection of Rebel Stitchers needle minders. And I have not yet purchased Rebel Stitchers needle minders and whatnot from her directly. But I had to pick this needle minder up because they had one. Those of you that watch Rebel Stitcher know that her dog Albus is an adorable, adorable dog. So cute. And I believe he's a French bulldog. He might not be. But Keepsakes had the Albus fan club needle minders. Look at that. So I had to pick one up because I'm also an Albus fan, and I haven't seen Rebel Stitchers needle minders yet before. personally. So I had to pick one of these up as well. So I now have an Albus Rebel Stitcher needle minder because I am in the Albus fan club with Rebel Stitcher. All right. So, everybody knows that Sue Hillis Designs also, Sue Hillis from Sue Hillis Designs also, I believe, is in the Cincinnati area. And she has designed a piece specifically for keepsakes. All right, so Sue Hillis designed this piece. It's called Your Favorite Needlework Shop, and it is for keepsakes. So you'll notice here's the actual picture of keepsakes on the front with the sign out front, and you'll notice that the house here matches the house that is stitched. Okay, pretty much to the T. Yep, pretty much to the T. And this is a sampler. And look, it even has the cat 310 on it. Isn't that cute? Because everybody knows 310 is the shop cat. Okay, so I picked this pattern up because Keepsakes is the only place you can get this. So I did have to pick up this pattern. So yeah, this is Your Favorite Needlework Shop Keepsakes. I had to pick that up. So while I was there too, there were some pieces in there that I really wanted to get. So this is one I haven't seen before, and I think I have some work basket, another work basket pattern. This is from the work basket. This is Quaker Halloweens. Keepsakes had the bat stitched and on display. It wasn't, I don't think it was in the same colorway. I think, if I remember correctly, the fabric was darker and the bat was lighter in color. But they had the bat up and I had to get the bat. So it's the Quaker Bat and the Quaker Owl. Dark brown, bell swell mud pie. The bat was stitched on Lakeside Linen's 36 count winter sky using GaRon water lilies in dark shadow. Now I don't know what I'm gonna use to stitch these. I may try and find a sulky and do it on 40 count. I don't know, but I also like the owl too. The owl's really cute, but they didn't have. I didn't see the owl up on their wall, but they did have the bat. The bat was cute. So in this series, there is Quaker Cat and Mouse, Quaker Cow and Sheep, Quaker Peacock and House, Quaker Pig and Rooster, Quaker Rabbit and Turtle, Quaker Santa and Snowman, Quaker Swan Frog and House, and Quaker Teddy Bears. So if you're interested, give a look up to the work basket, and this is called Quaker Halloweens. So it's the owl and the bat. Then this one is by Silver Creek Samplers. They had this also stitched there, and it was beautiful. And I have a feeling this was one of the ones that Stephanie stitched, that they're using her model for. I could be wrong about that. But this is by Silver Creek Samplers. I have a Silver Creek Samplers Sing a Sampler series, the Do Re Mi one. That is by Silver Creek Samplers. This is called, what is this called? My Christmas List. Family visits, turkey dressing, woolen sweaters, Christmas blessing, flying reindeer, mistletoe, candles glowing, hot cocoa, pies and cookies, Old St. Nick, peace and goodwill, peppermint stick, wrapping presents, gingerbread, hanger stocking, time for bed, angels singing, Christ is born, a gift for all on Christmas morn. That is really cute. That's the first time I read it. I just saw all the different words. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. It rhymes, you guys. Yeah. So that's actually really neat. Family visits, turkey dressing, woolen sweaters, Christmas blessing. Flying reindeer, mistletoe, candles glowing, hot cocoa. Pies and cookies, Old St. Nick, peace and goodwill, peppermint stick. Wrapping presents, gingerbread, hang your stocking, time for bed. Angels singing, Christ is born, a gift for all on Christmas morn. That's really cool. Yep. So the model for this was stitched on Silk Weaver 32 count Coco Lugano over 2 using 2 strands of floss. So, yep. There you go. I can't show you the back because it has part of the pattern in it on the back. But, yeah, there you go. Also, at Keepsakes, one of the other pieces that I have on order because they didn't have any more, Alessandra Adelaide, I believe is the name. Alessandra Adelaide. They have quite a few of her pieces up on their wall. And I placed an order while I was there for this one because I have never seen these before. And this one really struck my eye. It is Spider. That's all I know. It's Alessandra Adelaide. So I am getting this one from Keepsakes. Hopefully it'll come in soon. I thought this was really pretty. They had quite a few others of hers stitched and whatnot, hanging up on the walls in various spots. But this is just beautiful. So I have this on order. Hopefully it'll come in soon. That is what I got. And I'm also getting the kind of grayish fabric to go with it. I don't know. I kind of put down a 40 count fabric. I don't know if I'll be doing this in DMCs or sulkies or variegateds of some ilk. Haven't decided yet because I'm going to take a look at the pattern when I get it. But anyway, that is what I got. And it just went fuzzy. There we go. But it's by I think it's Alessandra Adelaide. And it's Spider something. Yep. Alrighty. That is all of my haul from Keepsakes. So, hopefully that wasn't too much for you. I gotta get this all together and put this all up here. Alright. So, ooh, look, I'm over an hour already. I haven't even got into plans. All right, so talked about all that. Yep, I talked about all the haul. All right, plans. I got some exciting plans the rest of this month, you guys. So, plans. My local needle workshop here in Columbus, Cross My Heart Limited. They host a stitching retreat, usually in the late fall every year. Normally, it's up in Amish country, Ohio. So it's up in the Worcester, Berlin, Ohio area, up in Amish country. Well, last year's Camp is called Camp GottaStitch. Last year's Camp GottaStitch was canceled for obvious reasons. This year's Camp GottaStitch has been revamped. So normally it's a Friday through Sunday stitching event. There is no scheduled classes or anything. It's just an event where you sit and stitch and hang out with everybody and eat and sleep and stitch and drink and stitch some more. That's all it is just a weekend of stitching. They usually have games and stuff going on throughout the weekend. They have giveaways. They put together little kits and stuff that they give you throughout the weekend. So when you register, you sign up for like Aida kits or linen kits, and they design the kits based on the theme for the weekend, and you just enjoy yourself. 2018 was my first Camp GottaStitch, and I got to meet Vanna Pfeiffer. Vanna Pfeiffer came to camp. That was also her first camp, and she came back the second year with me. It was great to see her again. But I got to meet Vanna Pfeiffer, the Twisted Stitcher, there, and I don't know if she'll be there this weekend or not. But anyway, this year's Camp GottaStitch has changed over last year's. They had to split it up into 2 weekends. There was one weekend in September, like the middle of September, which also coincided with something else that I had going on, so I couldn't go. And this coming weekend, October 30th through the 31st. They had to split it up into 2 weekends because they normally have about 65 to 75 people come to the convention. It's a really small retreat, and it's held up in Amish country. Well, this year, they couldn't get the hotel in Amish country that they normally hold it at. It's normally held at the Berlin Grand Hotel in Berlin, Ohio. But this year, they couldn't schedule the Berlin Grand. So they had to split it up into 2 weekends so they could kind of make it a little smaller. And they also found a local venue here in Columbus to host it at. So Camp GottaStitch this year is being held at the Aloft Hotel in Westerville, Ohio, which is a 5-minute drive from my house. Mom and I were supposed to go last year. It would have been her first stitching retreat, but, you know, they had to cancel. So when they announced earlier this year that Cross My Heart, or that Camp GottaStitch was happening, and that it would be slightly different, my mom and I went ahead and registered for the event this coming weekend. We registered for the October weekend because there was less going on at this point in time. And even though it's 5 minutes from our house, we're going to stay at the hotel and just enjoy the stitching weekend. So the stitching room opens at 9 a.m. Saturday morning. Looking forward to it, and looking forward to seeing some of my stitching friends that I've met at prior Camp GottaStitches and meeting new stitchy friends. So Mom and I are going to be going to the Aloft Hotel here in Westerville, Ohio, 5 minutes from our house, to hang out and stitch this weekend. So this weekend is a stitchy week. This coming weekend, is a stitchy weekend for my mom and I. My mom's figured out what pattern she's going to do. She is doing, let me see if I can, Fireside Originals. Cross Stitch. Fireside Originals. Let's see. Fireside Originals. Let me see if I can find it. Fireside Originals menu. Patterns. Okay. There it is. Mount Hood. Big Sur, Mount McKinley, Mount Rainier. View from the valley, view from the deck. She doesn't have it on here. The one my mom got. Big Sur, Sprague Lake. The old mill. Blue Ridge Parkway tunnels. Nope, she doesn't have it on their website. Sorry about that. But my mom is taking a Fireside Originals scene. Hold on just a minute. I should be able to tell you what it is. It is called Autumn at Oxbow Bend. Sorry. Let me go here. Autumn. Let me see if I can pull it up. Autumn at Oxbow Blend. Let's see. Fireside Originals. Oxbow Bend.
And she was happy with the quality of the work. So it's not like it's, well, you know, they're not straight
Let's see. Longs Peak, Mountain Lilies, Oxbow Bend. I believe this is the one that she got. This very much looks like the one that she got. Let me get this back up for you. So it's Autumn at Oxbow Bend by Fireside Originals. Sorry it took me a little bit to look that up. That is the project that my mom's planning on stitching. She's doing it on a kind of a hand-dyed Aida fabric that is a kind of like a sky blue color with it's mottled, so it looks like clouds. So Mom is going to be hopefully working on that. We just bought her the floss from Joann's today for it. So she is going to be working on that this weekend as her Camp GottaStitch stitching project, which is kind of nice because, you know, it's one of Carol Grant's designs from Fireside Originals, local here in town. And anyway, I don't quite yet know what pattern I was going to stitch. So I am also working on a Fireside Originals pattern. I'm working on the Seahorses of the Month pattern. This set of seahorses came out in 2018. And here is the full piece. So they came out as monthly releases. Where I started my piece is up here in the middle. So I started with Fred and Ginger. This is February's. But yeah, I started with Fred and Ginger. And you'll see my progress here in a bit. I have a little bit to show you. I thought I was going to take this piece with me to Camp GottaStitch, but I don't know if I'm going to be taking this one with me or not. I haven't 100% decided what I'm going to take. I think I kind of want to take my Hidden Harbor by Heaven and Earth Designs, but there's also a couple of other things I could take and stitch, like my Grim Grinning Ghosts stitch along piece that I haven't touched in months since I started the frame for the house on it, so I need to get cracking on that. So maybe I'll take that because the one room in the middle, the stretching room with the stretching portraits from the Haunted Mansion, I'm going to be doing all 4 of them 1/1 in that frame, based on one of the edits that somebody had created for the Grim Grinning Ghost Stitch Along pattern. Anyway, so I haven't 100% decided what I'm taking to Camp GottaStitch, but Camp GottaStitch starts Saturday morning, and we'll be staying overnight in the hotel and hanging out and stitching all weekend. Cross My Heart is open for us on Sunday after the stitching room closes at noon. Cross My Heart will be open for us on Sunday to do some shopping. So according to what my mom said, my mom goes to the Tuesday stitch group at Cross My Heart every Tuesday from like 10 to 1 or 2 in the afternoon, and she sits and stitches with some ladies in the back room there. They said that the September weekend for Camp GottaStitch was a lot of fun. There was not very many people there. She said it was pretty low-key, about 30 people maybe. And they're expecting the October one to be a little more full, but we'll see. No, I think she said there were only like 15 or 20 people there. There weren't very many people there. There's supposed to be more people at the one this weekend, so we'll see how big it is. But I'm looking forward to Camp GottaStitch this weekend. So in December, Mom and I are slated to go to another stitching retreat. And let me pull that up just a minute. Oh, come on. There we go. All right. All right. Come on. Hold on. Sorry about that, you guys. I ended up playing a YouTube video. All right. It's not gonna bring it up. All right. I need to close that out. All right. Shoot. I'm done with that too. Sorry, you guys. Sorry. That could be why. There we go. All right. So the retreat that we're going to is called Stitching in the Springs Retreat at the Mills Park Hotel in Yellow Springs, Ohio. It's December 3rd through 5th. Stitching in the Springs. Mills Park Hotel is a 28-room boutique hotel opened in 2016 and located in the heart of charming Yellow Springs, Ohio, within walking distance to the downtown shopping district. Mills Park Hotel is smoke-free and pet-free. So, Mom and I have our registration for it. Stitching in the Springs. Sammy J Stitches here on FlossTube is confirmed that she is also going to be in attendance at the Stitching in the Springs retreat. So I'm really excited to finally meet her. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting weekend. It is gonna be my 3rd or 4th stitching retreat. Sorry, I'm just trying to look up. Just trying to look up the Stitching in the Springs event. All right, so it is in Yellow Springs, Ohio, which is just southwest of Springfield, Ohio, which is 45 minutes to an hour southwest of Columbus. So kind of looking forward to that. It is southwest of the Springfield-Beckley Municipal Airport. So looking forward to being there. Should be kind of fun. Yep. And it's actually not that far of a drive away from Keepsakes. But anyway, Mom and I are going to that December 3rd through 5th. I'm looking forward to it. If Mom hasn't 100% for sure decided if she's going to go yet or not. But hopefully she'll decide soon, and we'll go to that together. If she doesn't go, I'm probably just going to go by myself because I think it'll be fun anyway. So this weekend was the 24 Hours of Cross Stitch weekend marathon for this quarter. The next weekend marathon for the 24 Hours of Cross Stitch will be happening in 2022. For those of you that don't know, the hashtag 24 Hours of Cross Stitch Facebook group was created when a group of friends decided that they wanted to have an online 24 hours straight worth of cross stitch. So everybody decided, it kind of, I think, came out of the whole cross stitch pajama party event that happened back in, I want to say 2016 or 2017. That was the brainchild of the kitten stitcher, Teresa Vanette. You know her from Prairie Peddler, I think is her name. But it's Teresa Vanette, the kitten stitcher, excuse me, not the kitchen stitcher, the kitten stitcher. She had this one weekend that she's like, you know, she got to thinking, she's like, why don't adult women have slumber parties anymore? Let's have a cross-stitch slumber party. Let's make it virtual so everybody can hang out for the weekend. We'll do a Facebook group and just do things, and people can plan for this, you know, pajama party and stay up, you know, all weekend and have snacks and whatnot, and we can all stitch and have fun. So that's kind of the whole thing that started all this. So I think a couple of the ladies decided to take this a bit further, since the pajama party hasn't happened since like 2016 or 2017 when Teresa Vanette, the kitten stitcher, had started it. So they decided to do the 24 hours of cross stitch, and the initial goal was to stitch starting at, say, like 6 p.m. Friday night and go to 6 p.m. Saturday and stitch 24 hours straight, no sleep. Well, that weekend came and everybody's like, but I gotta sleep, so I'm gonna do, you know, 6 hours, 6 hours, 6 hours, 6 hours, whatever. I'm going to do blocks of 6 hours, or I'm going to do blocks of 8 hours, or I'm going to do 4, whatever, and take breaks in between. So a bunch of people decided that weekend, that same weekend, that they were going to be, you know, not able to do it all in 24 hours straight. because, you know, people have lives and people have family and people have things they need to do and people need to sleep. So that weekend they developed Team Sleep and Team No Sleep. I believe is the two teams. I know Team Sleep is one of them. And so those were the people that were taking breaks. And then the other one was Team No Sleep, which is the people that were going to start at 6 p.m. or start at a specific time and stitch for 24 hours straight. And then take the rest of the time the weekend to crash and do whatever and live life. So that kind of got started. So the Facebook group, hashtag 24 hours of cross stitch, I will link that below, kind of was formed to get everybody together and have a central place for everybody to post their pictures, post their snacks, post, you know, just their stitching progress throughout their whole 24 hours. And it became a weekend event. So I believe it technically starts sometime Thursday and goes until Sunday. So over the course of Thursday through Sunday of the official quarterly weekend for 24 hours of cross stitch, you get to pick how you're going to do it. If you're going to be Team Sleep or Team No Sleep, and when your 24 hours is going to start. And if you're going to do it in blocks of time, or if you're going to do it in one big chunk of time. However you're going to do it. But it's over a weekend. So this weekend was the 24 hours of cross stitch. I believe officially the event is over now for this weekend. But so this weekend was the 24 hours of cross stitch. I haven't actually participated in the 24 hours of cross stitch because my life usually gets in the way, and I don't have a full 24-hour block of time over a weekend usually to sit and stitch. So just know that the 24 hours of cross stitch marathon weekend was going on. The November weekend hasn't been released yet, and everything like that. 24 hours of cross stitch also releases a monthly acrostic and whatnot for the group. The lady that kind of started the Facebook group also puts out the 24 hours of cross stitch planner every year. She's getting ready to release next year's planner. They've already announced next year's theme. Next year's themes. Maybe they haven't. No, they haven't, because they put that in the planner. And so the people that get the planner every year will know the annual themes ahead of time. But if you're just in the Facebook group and you don't get the planner every year, you have to wait until like the last day of the month to know what the next month's set's going to be. So the 24 hours of cross stitch October acrostic was rotation based or stitch by moods. I was working on a little bit of both. So you can see I was working on Animal Crossing for 200 stitches each a couple times. I had Colorful Bunny on here a couple of times. I had Seahorses on here a couple of times. And the Grim Grinning Ghost Cell. Those were the pieces that I was going to do for the 24 hours of cross stitch. I only did 2 so far. I've done the 2 Animal Crossing ones, and I'm not quite finished with the Seahorses one. Colorful Bunny, I've also hit those goals on here too. I just haven't marked them off yet. But anyway, so the 24 hours of cross stitch, they do an acrostic every month. If you buy the planner, you can get that. Magazine monthly cross stitch. The November theme came out. It is Home is Where the Heart Is, and the acrostic is the word home. Now, the idea behind Magazine Monthly Challenge Group is they would like it if you could pick the theme pattern as a magazine thing, because this group got started in August of last year as a challenge group for working on your magazine projects, thus Magazine Monthly Challenge. So the whole goal for the group was to get your magazine projects done. So a lot of people have magazine projects that they don't necessarily use for other Facebook challenge groups. So the November theme is Home is Where the Heart Is. And the themes for the rest of this year and through December of next year for Magazine Monthly Challenge have come out. So I think I showed this last month, but here are the themes. So December this year is Sparkle and Shine. And then it goes into all the ones for January through December of next year. So this is monthly magazine challenge themes. I don't know what the acrostics are going to be. They haven't posted those yet. But anyway, for November, the monthly magazine challenge things for November, I have that in here. Let me get to it. I thought I did. There it is. I didn't pick mine. The theme this month was kaleidoscope, and the acrostic was color. So I did Colorful Bunny and Bewitching Owl, Finish the Moon, and 150 stitches. I did put 150 stitches in Bewitching Owl, I believe, for October. Did I? Let me make sure. No. I have not stitched on Bewitching Owl this month, so I haven't done any of it. But yeah, I couldn't figure out what to put in for kaleidoscope. Maybe Bewitching Owl from the Just Cross Stitch magazine would be appropriate because of his like quilted sweater that he's got on, kind of like a kaleidoscope of fabric and color. I don't know, but I've got a week, and yeah, that was my monthly magazine monthly challenge acrostic. All right, so I talked about that. Magical Stitches, they announced that the book series, so they put an announcement out there that the announcement about next year's book series is coming out October 31st. So next Sunday, Magical Stitches, the Facebook group, announced that their book series is going to be a mystery series, and the quote that they gave was, "Can you stitch for clues?" So they like to do young adult books, and they like to keep it PG-13. So a lot of people are making guesses as to what the book series is they're going to read. So anyway, they've announced that the announcement about next year's series is going to come out next Sunday, October 31st. So Magical Stitches is doing that. I haven't been super active in Magical Stitches just because I've been kind of concentrating on other things. So, all right, Full Coverage Fanatics. November's bookshelf series is Biographies, Diary of a Young Girl, Angela's Ashes, and Becoming. They're doing holiday theme, which is any project celebrating a holiday. Now, these are all full coverage projects that you have to use for these challenges. They've also announced several different challenges for 2022. Let me get these sheets of paper out. Sorry, you guys. Several different projects for 2022 for Full Coverage Fanatics. I have the printout. So they're doing the Whips and Wonders challenge. 20 Wonders of the World challenge. So this was the piece that they put out. Full Coverage Fanatics. Whips and Wonders challenge. So they have a little cheat sheet here. They're doing like the Aurora Borealis, the Chichen Itza, Christ the Redeemer, Colosseum in Rome, the Great Wall of China, the Great Barrier Reef, Colossus of Rhodes, the Grand Canyon, Lighthouse at Alexandria, Hanging Gardens. I haven't actually participated in a lot of the Full Coverage Fanatics challenges. I think I might this year, just to get some stitching done. One of the other things they're doing is the 2022 Eras event. These are the non-counting ones. The I believe the Whips and Wonders challenge is a counting event, so you have to count your stitches for this one. The non-counting event in Full Coverage Fanatics is the Eras event. So prehistoric, ancient antiquity, Middle Ages, Renaissance, Age of Exploration, Regency, the 20s and World War II, Belle Epoch, Victorian era, Machine Age, Space Age, and Information Age. So these are the different things that you can stitch for the non-counting events. For the Whips and Wonders challenge, you will need to stitch 5,000 stitches on one full coverage project for each of these. So 5,000 5,000 stitches each. One project. Okay. So the goal for these, for the Whips and Wonders, is 5,000 stitches on one full coverage project. You can pick a different full coverage project for each of the Wonders. Or if you finish one mid Wonder, you can swap over. And you can also reprint it. So the total at the end of the thing is going to be 100,000 stitches. So 100,000 stitches. Okay. So you'll be doing that. Errors in history. They're also doing 22,000 in 2022. So one of their things for the full coverage fanatics is every year they take that year and they stitch 1,000 times that year number in one full coverage project. So because next year is 2022, it's 22 times 1,000. So 22,000 stitches in one project. You guys, if you're stitching the Whips and Wonders, 4.5 of the Wonders will get you your 22,000 stitches. So 4.5 of the Wonders will get you 22,000 stitches. And they're also doing the monthly weekend scavenger hunt again. But yeah, so next year's full coverage fanatics is 22,000 in 2022. They're doing Whips and Wonders, which is the counting, 5,000 stitches for each wonder on each project. And then the 2022 Eras event, non-counting themes. So that is the full coverage fanatics 2022. Semi-sane Stitchers, November, they have the November Focus, they have the Dodgeball, they have Movie Mania, and they have Whip Days. I'm probably going to be doing either the Focus piece and or Movie Mania and or Whip Days for Semi-Sane. I was doing the Semi-Sane Trick or Treat, which you were stitching for candy. I got a few pieces of candy, but because my weekend is, or my whole October was kind of messed up with the trip to Arkansas and all that, I just haven't had much motivation to stitch for a lot of stuff. I did get a few pieces, so I have participated in the Semi-Sane Trick or Treat. And I can show you some of my progress pictures for that. Before I get into that, I'm gonna do, so there was a new group that I joined up just recently called So You Think You Can Stitch. It's based on reality TV shows. They do challenges kind of based along those things, themes, reality TV shows this year. And one of the events they have coming up starting November 1st is Minute to Win It. Let me see if I can find it. Magical Stitches, full coverage, semi-sane, crystal, story stitches. So You Think You Can Stitch, and the event was Minute to Win It. It's a solo game, so they'll start posting challenges closer to November 1st, because it goes from November 1st until it's 12 days. Why does it? November 1st to December 31st. Each challenge will be open for 48 hours and is 100 stitches unless otherwise specified. You can complete each challenge as many times as you'd like in those 48 hours. Complete as many or as few challenges as you want. Cheer on your friends. Specific instructions. It's the first solo event that they have. So You Think You Can Stitch is game-based. I'm not on a team yet, so I'm probably going to do the solo challenge and just kind of get into that and see if I want to stick around for that group. It's called So You Think You Can Stitch. Alright. So those need to go back here. Yep. Full coverage for Alex Sounds. Alright, so then we have Enchanted Stitching Challenge Enchanted Stitching Challenges. So this month they were doing like Haunted Mansion, 999 happy prompts is what they called it. So they had several different groupings of like, you know, many different prompts. And the two that I had picked out to do was the Haunted Mansion movie and the Haunted Mansion ride from Disneyland. So those were two of the ones that I was going to do. And I was hoping to use the Grim Grinning Ghost stitch along for it. I haven't even started yet. We only have a week left. I haven't even started stitching for any of it. We have a week left. So, like some of the challenges for it, I have a printout. So there were two things that I was going to do. The Haunted Mansion Attraction Challenge and then the Haunted Mansion Movie Challenge. So, like for the Haunted Mansion Attraction, stretch room, 4 portraits hang in the gallery. At first glance, they appear to be normal, but the longer you are in there, the more you realize the precarious position they were in that caused their death. Quicksand, a powder keg, an alligator, and a murderous spouse. Stitch on something you can relate to a precarious position. Grim Grinning Ghost, I was going to use the stretching room as my prompt for that. And for Enchanted Stitching Challenges, so this is just something I printed out, something that I copied and pasted, but these are the stitch amounts that you need for Enchanted Stitching Challenges and how much you can earn. So the stitch amount points, a noble is 50 stitches or 30 minutes, a knight is 100 stitches or 1 hour, and a royal is 250 stitches or 2 hours of stitching. And it gives you various points for the amount that you stitch. So that's kind of how Enchanted Stitching Challenges work. They give you all the prompts, and then you can just stitch however many, you know, you get to. And you can easily do 250 stitches in one stitching session. So this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's 13 prompts on here that you can stitch for on this one. So the Haunted Mansion movie, I mean, all those stitching challenges in Enchanted Stitching are pretty cool. So they also watch a movie for the month. They pick a movie for the month. And most of the challenges for Enchanted Stitching are prompts. Most of the stitching challenges are prompts based on the movie that they select. So this month's movie is like Haunted Mansion. I haven't watched that either. I really like the ride though. Really like the Disneyland ride. I'm a very big fan of Haunted Mansion. So I'm not doing anything for that. Alright. Everybody knows about WhipGo. WhipGo is Work in Progress Bingo, started by Jessie Marie Does Stuff here on YouTube. She started WhipGo as a way of making progress on her whips every year. She calls 2 numbers a month. 1 month, the month that she calls Square 13, which is usually the free choice spot on your bingo board, she calls a 3rd number. It just so happened this year that the free choice spot 13 was called in January. So in January we had 3 numbers. But here's my WhipGo board. All the ones that are solidly filled in are ones I've completed. The ones that are just framed in a color that aren't completed, like Square 12, Grim Grinning Ghosts, Finish a Square, I have not completed those as of yet. I'm probably not going to finish this square in particular. I think I'm changing the finish a square goal to 500 stitches because I think I can meet that earlier or easier. This month was October. This whip up here, I originally had this as Epic Where's Waldo Pokemon, but earlier this summer I was working on a challenge for Where's Waldo Pokemon, and I got about 150 stitches into it of the like 750 stitches I needed to complete for the challenge. And I was like, I'm done working on this. I don't like it. I'm probably never going to hang it up, and I'm definitely probably never going to finish it. So I asked permission to swap it out for the challenge, and I was granted permission to swap it out because I decided that it was never a piece that I really wanted to finish. So why am I going to waste my time working on it? So I swapped it out for the Seahorses, Fireside Original Seahorses. So my goal for that is 500 stitches, because the Epic Where's Waldo Pokemon, I was doing it 1/1 tent. So I had 1,000 stitches, 1/1 tent. So I changed it to 500 stitches on Fireside Original Seahorses. I only have about 200 more stitches to go on that to complete it. So the other one for October was Cross Stitch and Country Square 11, Cross Stitch and Country Crafts Amid Amish Live. I actually completed that back in July in one of the other challenge groups. So when October 1st came, I could fill it in. So the only other one that I have left to finish that's been called was September's Spin a Decision Wheel to pick your whip. Right here, spin the decision wheel. I picked Bewitching Owl. I think I only have about 200 stitches left to go to finish that too. So what I might end up doing is working on Seahorses at Camp GottaStitch and Bewitching Owl, because Bewitching Owl is kind of fall themed. And then I can probably take my Hidden Harbor Heaven and Earth designs to stitch as well. Or maybe a Christmas Heaven and Earth designs. I have the Enchanted Reindeer that, you know, I need to make progress on too. I don't know which one I'll take though. So that would leave Grim Grinning Ghosts is the only one that I'm probably not going to be able to finish. I can knock out the Seahorses, and I can knock out box 5 and 15, the Seahorses and the Bewitching Owl at Camp GottaStitch this weekend, which would only leave me 5 open squares, 4 that have not yet been called, and the Grim Grinning Ghosts box 12. So box 14 I completed in July. This is a Cunning Cross Stitch Animal Crossing cell, 500 stitches. I first completed the 500 stitches back in July, but I've also completed another 500 of them in Crystal Academy the end of September and October. I'll be talking about Crystal Academy here in a bit. But so technically 14 is completed, but I have to wait to fill it in until it's called. So if I get 5 and 15 filled in, that'll get me a bingo this weekend, another bingo. And once this is filled in, I might not finish the Grim Grinning Ghosts this year. I don't know. But once 14 is called, I can fill that in, and then that'll only leave me 3 more squares, 9, 16, and 23, which shouldn't be too hard. So I have a new start coming up, and 40 count gauze, which I have Erica Michaels' Scary Berry to work on. So 1,000 stitches on that one I think will finish it. And then down over here, a Whip of Choice. Heaven and Earth Designs are Whip of Choice. I had originally put in here Cunning Cross Stitch Magic Kingdom cell here, but the first one came out and I just wasn't really enamored with the design for Ariel, the Little Mermaid, on the Cunning Cross Stitch Magic Kingdom cell. So I waited for a couple of more of them to come out, and then I decided that I wasn't going to stitch it. So I had to come up, because I wasn't going to stitch it, I had to come up with another piece. So I'm just going to do a Heaven and Earth design, or another full coverage piece, Whip of Choice. So I'm just going to pick one. So I have a new start coming up. I don't know what I'm starting yet. And a gauze project, 500 stitches on a new start. Yeah, so that is that. So I think I'll probably just end up taking my Seahorses and my Bewitching Owl and my Heaven and Earth Designs full coverage. And once I get the 2 Whip Go boards done this weekend, I'll be fine with that. All right. So, those of you that have been watching me for a little bit also know that I have been participating in Crystal Academy. Crystal Academy is another Facebook challenge group that is kind of set into it's kind of set into terms, like college terms, semesters type of thing, where you have classes, and each class you have to stitch to learn spells. And then they do spell offs, they do field trips, they do different things where you have to use your spells in battles and challenges against other teams and other classes to win. And then each term they select the overall winner for the term, and then, you know, they get the kudos and they get extra goofy things and stuff like that. So I was in we were doing term 3. We were just wrapping up term 3. And I was in term 1 pretty actively. I kind of backed out for term 2 just because I had a lot of stuff going on. And then when term 3 started, I decided, you know what, I'm going to jump back in and do it. And I kind of got burnt out. And the admins, the ladies that were creating the challenges for Crystal Academy, also had life events and whatnot that they had to put on hold, essentially, to make the group, to try and keep the challenges up to their standards and whatnot. And life was suffering for them. And then, you know, some of these life events just became too important for them to not participate in. So they weren't able to make this term as involved and as complete as they would have liked. So the two main admins, the two main content creators for Crystal Academy, have decided in the last couple of weeks that there will not be another term at this point in time. They do not know if this is going to be a permanent closure of Crystal Academy, or if they're going to keep it open so people that want to can still kind of hang out, or if they're going to archive the group, or if it's just going to be done. They haven't 100% decided. They don't want to create something that isn't up to their standards and also isn't as involved as a lot of us have come to expect in a challenge group. So they have decided at this point in time to take a hiatus. However long or however permanent that hiatus is, they have decided that it was probably best for them to stop. So at this juncture, Crystal Academy is on a hiatus, which is kind of good because I have decided also that I was going to take another step back and not participate this next term in Crystal Academy. So now I don't really have to make that decision. We're also not doing finals. We were supposed to be coming up onto finals week here pretty soon. We just finished up Remedy week so we could catch up on all our spells. I caught up on all my spells, so I was able to master all the spells for Crystal Academy this term, which was a pretty good challenge. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 spells we needed to master. The term started June 14th, and the Remedy week lasted until the 18th. The 18th through the 25th was supposed to be Fun Week, and this coming week, the 25th through November 15th, was supposed to be Finals. They have decided that everybody passes, and that there will be no finals for Crystal Academy for term 3. Which is fine. I mean, I got a lot of stitching done because each of these spells, in order to master them, we had to do a total of 750 stitches on a project for that spell. And before the term started, we had to pick the projects that we were going to use for them. So we had to pick 6 projects, and the 6 projects would be used for 2 of the spells. So we had to pick a project for one class that would be used for 2 spells, and a project for each class. Each of those classes was for 2 spells. So through Remedy Week, through the 18th, through Remedy Week, I managed to master all 12 spells. So that is really good. So I worked on Glendon Place, Fudgy Mint Moose, Carolyn Manning Aquamarine, Amid Amish Life from Just Cross Stitch magazine. No, Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazine. Kitty and Me, Colorful Bunny, Lavender and Orchid. Heaven and Earth Designs, Hidden Harbor, and the Animal Crossing cell. My extra credit piece, which I did not do any extra credit piece, was supposed to be Charting Creations Blossom Blade. So, I don't know. So, that was my Crystal Academy Turn 3 guidelines. So, I actually made it all the way through. I was on Team Red Phoenix, and we did pretty okay. We kind of ended the term about middle of all the groups. Then for the free cross stitch challenge, we have the October Stitchy mission. I have yet to figure out how much of this I have stitched. I know I have 2 of the boxes already filled in for the Stitcho. And for the projects, I also have to kind of figure out how many of the projects I've done. The October stitch count was a pumpkin. The mission was 3,200 stitches. I don't really know that I'm going to meet 3,200 stitches this month. No, I'm not. Because I haven't been doing 100 stitches a day. And I've missed a lot of days. Because my stitchy bug just hasn't been there. And I've also been diamond painting. Trying to get my diamond painting completed for Drills and Chills. So, yeah. Drills and Chills ends on the 31st. So I actually need to go in this week and fill out the form for the Drills and Chills as well. So that's all I have for you. For plans. So Crystal Academy, I will not be continuing with that because they have decided the terms are done. Semi-Sane Stitchers, I'm probably going to be doing November Focus, Movie Mania, and or Whip Days. Full Coverage Fanatics. I don't know if I'll be doing a bookshelf or the Celebrating Any Holiday. Magical Stitches, they have the book announcement out. I don't know if I'll be participating in any of the challenges anytime soon. I don't know yet. I'll have to look through the different prompts and see if there's anything I can do. Magazine Monthly Challenge, Home is Where the Heart Is. I'll have to look at the theme and see if I can find something that I can pick out for that. And see what I can put in to match the acrostic. The 24 Hours of Cross Stitch acrostic is not out yet for November. Marathon weekend is wrapping up. We have Camp GottaStitch coming up this weekend, and then I have Stitching in the Springs in December. Stitching in the Springs with Sammy J Stitches here on FlossTube. She's going to that as well. Whip Go, the Whip Go numbers will be called on the 27th, which is Wednesday, I do believe. Yep, Whip Go numbers come out on Wednesday, so we shall see. Once the numbers are out on the 27th for November, we'll know what December's numbers are too. So we can plan for that. I might just take November and stitch November's and December's goals. And we'll see how it goes. So you think you can stitch? I might be joining the Minute to Win It thing November 1st. I just don't know. Cross Stitch Frogbusters is also doing 2-week Tuesdays. The next one comes up this Tuesday, so I don't know what it'll be. And then Enchanted Stitching Challenges, the prompts are Haunted Mansion, are based on Haunted Mansion. And 999 happy prompts is what they're calling them. There's a lot of different challenges. The 2 that I picked are based on the Haunted Mansion movie and the Haunted Mansion ride at Disney. Lots of stuff going on. Lots of stuff. So I'm kind of on to my updates now. I only brought 3 of my pieces down here just because I can show you a couple of the other ones. So let me show you a couple of pictures of a couple of the pieces that I worked on. All right. Albums, camera, there we go. All right. Let me go. Didn't want to quite go back that far. So you've seen all that, you've seen all that. You've seen Glendon Place, you've seen Hidden Harbor. Okay. You've seen that. Colorful Bunny. All right. So, Colorful Bunny. All right. Colorful Bunny is one that I worked on. So, Colorful Bunny. When was that? I don't know. All right, so I can look on here and kind of tell you. So the last one was mid-September. So since mid-September, I worked on Colorful Bunny, Saltwater Scrapbook, South Seas Mermaid, Bewitching Owl, Animal Crossing, and that's it. So I have Colorful Bunny. And the Seahorses, because I've been working on Seahorses, Colorful Bunny, Animal Crossing, and the Seahorses to show you. But I also made progress on Saltwater Scrapbook. All right, let me see if I can find that, because I don't have it down here with me. Okay, so this is the collaboration piece between Lindy Stitches and the Blue Flower. Saltwater Scrapbook, you probably remember seeing this. Okay, so I'm doing the whole thing like this on fabric, and where I got to on Saltwater Scrapbook for September was here. So I got the first box done in some of the sand. I am working on the piece with the octopus and the sandcastle. So I got the border done with some of the sand under the sandcastle on the beach. So that is what I'm working on. That is where I got South Seas Mermaid. I don't have a picture of the South Seas Mermaid. Of what she looks like. But the South Seas Mermaid, I put in 207 stitches on the South Seas Mermaid. This is a Mirabilia Nora Corbett. So that is where I was working on the tail. Where was I? Okay. Oh, I was filling in some of this stuff. Okay, so here's where I was. Down here, there is kelp and seaweed, and this is part of her tail. So I was filling in stuff. So you can see there's some fill-in. I filled in a lot of the stitches down in here for this. So that is South Seas Mermaid. Bewitching Owl was the next one. So part of my whip go goal was to finish the moon. This is where I was in Bewitching Owl. So this is the moon. Yep. Here is a picture of the Bewitching Owl, so you can see it. And then, so again, here is where I was. Here was my starting photo. Yep. And then where I ended, I brought down more of the moon down around his face. So that was like 300 stitches. And then Animal Crossing. So for the Animal Crossing Stitch Along and the challenges, this is where I was. This is where I was for the Animal Crossing sale. And I do have this one with me. I took it off the scroll frame though because I'm done working on it for this year. So, for the Animal Crossing sale, you can see that I got I got more green, more of the green filled in. And more of the sand that goes around the island. I got a lot of the stuff filled in around the island for this. Do I have what I'm stitching this on? I don't know if I have the bag for the fabric. This is on Picture This Plus Flapper. I'm doing that on Picture This Plus Flapper. It's a 28 count Lugana, I believe is the colorway. But it is a green and yellow. It's a green and yellow. You're not going to be able to see it, but it's a green and yellow. But that is my Animal Crossing sal. I'm going to have plenty of space to finish. And this green over here, this green over here is the this edge of the pattern, so it kind of comes up, so that is as wide as the pattern is over here on this side. Over here on this side, the green that goes up, that is the far left edge of the pattern. So I am done with Animal Crossing for the year. So this piece will go in my whip pile in my craft room until I'm ready to work on it next year. Then I also worked on the Colorful Bunny for Crystal Academy. So at one point for the Colorful Bunny sal, let me go back. So at one point for Colorful Bunny, I'm just going to show you, this is where I was at one point for Colorful Bunny. Yep. So it was mostly just the ear that I had done. This one I am also done until spring of next year. So I'm not going to be working on this anymore. This is where I got to on Colorful Bunny. Look at that, you guys. Look at that. The ears are mostly done. And this one I am stitching on, let me see if I can find the bag. I don't have, here's the bag for the fabric, but I don't know what it's on. There it is. It's on a piece of unnamed BeStitchMe fabric, 32 count Lugana. I got the fabric from a Friday Night Fight Night event on BeStitchMe's Facebook group, but yeah, this is an unnamed fabric. It is a mottled purple. It has purple, darker purple, lighter purple, and a little bit of pink in it. But yeah, I'm gonna have plenty of fabric left over for this after I'm done stitching this. I'm gonna have plenty of this fabric left over because yeah, I probably could have centered it up a little bit higher, but It's going to be beautiful when it's done. So that's on a BeStitchMe fabric that I don't know the name of. Okay. So those are two projects that get to go back. And then, so the Fireside Seahorses pattern that I was working on February's, which is Fred and Ginger. Did I take a picture of where I started? I hope so. Yes, I took a picture of where I started. Oh, I need to edit that and turn it around. Save. So, this is where I started. The Fireside Original Seahorse. Okay. This is where I was before. Right? I'm doing this on the called for fabric. I bought the fabric the same time that I bought the thing. Put this on Q-Snap. But that is where I am. So you can see I've got most of Fred finished. Well, I'm over half done with Fred. So I have about another 200 stitches to put in on this to meet my whip go goal. So I think my goal is going to be to finish Fred. So you can see kind of where I'm at and where I need to be. So if I finish Fred, I think I'll be good. And this is the only month. This is the only month, the month of February, that has 2 seahorses in the block. All the other ones have 3. Or 1, rather. So, alright. So that is all my updates. That is all I have for you. Yep. So, alright. I know this video is long, and I'm not apologizing for that because, well, it's been a little bit. It's been about a month since I've seen you guys. Hopefully it won't be another month before I'm able to upload a new thing. I'm hoping to have a Camp GottaStitch update video for you. A little bit about that. As I said earlier, I'm going to be putting pictures of my visit to the Stitcher's Garden in Conway, Arkansas, and Keepsakes, where I got to meet Steph from Just Keep Stitchin this past weekend. And hopefully I'll have some updates for you in another week or so from Camp GottaStitch, and I'll have some lovely video or pictures and or stitching progress to show you. So I'm hoping to have another video up the, beginning part of November to kind of tell you a little bit more about November plans and what I've got going on for the rest of the year. And I'm going to be getting ready to get into planning. You've probably seen this sitting up here. I use Passion Planner. I use the Passion Planner for my planning and my daily life. This is this year's Passion Planner. You can see here that I use color and I keep track of all different kinds of things in here. I have my Whip Go Bingo board in here. I have my whip tracking in here as well that I put in here. Different things I've got going on. Different books that I've read. I haven't kept up on that because I haven't been reading a whole lot this year. So yeah, I have my 2022. This one's an undated one, but I have my 2022 planner with my monthly tabs. So I will be, in the next 2 months, I will be going through this and adding trackers and everything and getting it updated for 2022. So right now I have October's kind of mostly filled out. This is October's. You can see Trick or Treat. November's I'm still kind of working on. November's is still kind of a work in progress. This week I'll be going into November and trying my best to get November filled out and set up with stickers and whatnot. Here's this week's thing. I still have to figure out stuff for the weekend over here and put in my trackers. And then this is my next week. So I still need to go in and plan next week, figure out what I'm going to do, and plan the rest of the weeks for the year. So yeah, that is what I've got going on. So I've got my planner that I'm going to be getting into in the next couple of weeks for 2022. I asked my husband if he wanted to keep this for me for Christmas. He said no. So I am going to get into setting up my planner in the next 6-8 weeks for 2022. And for stitching, I'm still kind of doing the same thing. I have the monthly trackers. This is the sheet that I keep next to my stitching chair where I put in the project that I'm stitching on, so you can see, like, for third quarter, you can see all my notes on there. So I keep this next to my stitching chair. I put the project I'm working on and how many stitches I'm doing, and if I'm doing it for challenges, I can also keep track of each challenge on here. I have the weekends in here for, like, Whip Go Weekend, International Hermit and Stitch Weekend. International Hermit Stitch Weekend for November is the 18th through the 20th. Cross Stitch Finish Line Stitch-a-thon for November is the 12th through the 14th and the 26th through the 28th. Whip Go Weekend is the 12th through the 14th. That is the one where you focus on your Whip Go projects. Cross Stitch Finish Line Stitch-a-thon is also coming up Friday through Sunday this coming weekend. Camp GottaStitch is this coming weekend. So I have some of those events on my tracker sheet here. I'll have to fill out my November calendar. I have calendars here with stitching event weekends and whatnot. Different things I'm participating in. So yeah, I'll have an update video hopefully coming out next week for you. It might be that following weekend, so it depends on how the week's going and how everything else is going. But that is all I have for you tonight. It was a lot, 2.5 hours. Hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you got a lot out of it. I had a lot to talk about. Hopefully I won't have nearly as much to talk about. Get your countdown to Christmas Hallmark movie watching in. Everything like that. So I'm watching Survivor. I'm also really sad that the Dodgers were not able to beat the Atlanta Braves to move on to the World Series. So I'm a LA Dodgers fan. I grew up in LA, so I'm an LA Dodgers fan. And really sad that the Dodgers lost last night. So they are not in the World Series, which is a bummer. But that's okay. It gives me a chance to watch other things now. So I'm watching Survivor. I'm probably going to be watching some Hallmark movies. I'm going to be catching up on FlossTube because I have a lot of FlossTube to watch. And hopefully you guys have got something out of this. Hopefully I've been able to inspire you. Look up Camp GottaStitch from Cross My Heart local needlework shop here in Columbus. See if you're interested in going next year. Hopefully we'll be back in Amish country and it'll be a 3-day weekend instead of one overnight night. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you. Hopefully it'll be the same weekend so we can all get together. Hopefully everything will be kind of more straightened out than it is this year. But I'm looking forward to Camp GottaStitch this weekend and Stitching in the Springs in December with Sammy J Stitches. I was really happy to meet Stephanie from Just Keep Stitching. Hi, Stephanie. So if you know her, just, she's a really nice person, really down to earth. And, just if you go to Keepsakes, just be mindful that, she's in there working if she's there. And, yeah, so just, it was really good to meet you. I'm still kind of fangirling a little bit, but, yeah, it's kind of nice, kind of really great. Looking forward to meeting more FlossTubers and meeting you, hopefully someday soon. I'm hoping to have another video up in another 2 weeks or so. So, another, after, I won't be having one this coming weekend, but it'll probably be the weekend after, that I can get one, done for you. And we'll have just some November updates and some Stitchy updates, some Camp GottaStitch updates and whatnot. So until our next time together, keep on keeping on, because that's all we can really do. Wear your masks. Masks are important. Stay safe, stay healthy, and get vaccinated. All right, so that's all I have for you this week. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye! So this is a thread room at Stitcher's Garden.
But I need to find a cool witch. I need a cool witch dress, yeah, because I'm not gonna sew it. It will, but yeah, stickers so they're gonna be so different. Those are fun. Those are good colors. I'm like, if I had paid attention, I could have made them, but I kind of like them not matching better than the other two.
I'm surprised she didn't think about that.
I think she was just so worried about getting them even. So she wound the whole thing onto this tape, and then once the outside of this became the inside, when she rewound half of it, and then she cut. So it was just fine. But so it was not a mirror. I could show you it in the room.
So this is the spring. These are spring patterns, like seasons, spring patterns. Then you move over into their summer patterns. And this is the display across from spring and summer. And just beyond that, you can see their fabrics. And then from spring, you move on over into fall. Look at their fall displays. You can see the Satsuma Street cat. That Satsuma Street cat is adorable. So this is their fall. More fall stuff. Plum Street, lots of Teresa Kogut. And then you move over into winter and Christmas. So this is winter and Christmas. More Christmas. And then you move over into series patterns. Series patterns are over here in the corner. Look at the Barbara Anna, A New World piece up there, stitched on 5 different fabrics sewn together. Look at that one too. They have the Fireside Original Seahorses from Carol in Columbus, Ohio. Look at that piece. Isn't that cute? It's really cute. Look at this Glendon Place, autumn all around. Look at that. Stunningly beautiful. You can see the glitter in the things. And then we have like Notions, little kiosks here. Notions kiosks. Eat, Sleep, Stitch mug. Look at the cards, the floss drops, the pickers, the counters. Display. Stretcher bars. Scissors. More sewing Notions, Q-snaps. Lights. Sorry I'm moving fast, but... And then here's the Mill Hill kits. This is a little beaded kit corner, including a bunch of Mill Hill kits. We have stretcher bars. But anyway, I'm working my way towards the front of the store again. So all these racks in the middle here are samplers and sampler type things. You have the ink circles patterns here. Different racks on either side. You can see the fabric in the back. some Barbara Anna stuff. This is, these racks here are the extension of the walls across from them. So this would be the winter and Christmas. So you can see the wall over there has Christmas. But, ooh, the Deck the Halls thing. All right. And then these are more sampler racks on either side. Some Autumn Lane. Look at her. It's an amazing shop in here, you guys. It's the cutting fat. Here's the fabric. Look at these, you guys. They carry 40 counts. All different kinds of things. Fox and Rabbit. These are Fox and Rabbit and Picture This Plus. Mystic Fabric. Ooh, come on, get down in there. There you go. And they serge the fabric for you. They have their serger here. They serge the fabric for you. Here is some printed fabrics. All right. But they have quite the selection of fabrics to choose from. 18 linen, 20 linen, 25 Jobelin, Lugana Dublin, 32 count, 36 count, 35 count, 28 count, 40 count. Then they also have all their Aida over here. Look at that sampler up there, you guys. Look at that. Yep. Then they have their Hardanger. So when they walk you up towards the front of the store, I'm sorry I'm doing this backwards, but I didn't realize until, look at these, you guys. Look how beautiful those are. I didn't realize the first time I was doing this that I wasn't recording. So, all right. So you can see it's raining outside. Lovely Friday afternoon in Conway, Arkansas. So we're at the Stitcher's Garden. They're open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5. Okay. So you have here, this is the new releases wall, including some beautiful things. There's quite a few stitchers that are stitching that, the second piece in. But this is the new releases wall. A lot of these are from Market. There's more new releases here. More new releases here. So, to the left of the door, you have the checkout counter. Right to the left of the door. Look at this little piece. Look at her. Isn't she cute? These are for sale. Freebies. Shall I need some? Picking up a couple of the freebies. Sorry about that, you guys. But you come over here. There's some stitching project notebooks, some notions, 2 racks of needle minders. Look at the Glendon Place turkey. Look at him. In all his glory. Oh, these are floss winders. So if you need your floss in certain lengths, and you like to cut them in certain lengths, floss sticks. This is Rick's floss sticks. So you wind your floss on it and then you cut the ends. And this gives you pre-cut lengths of floss. They come in different wood types. But anyway, so there's where I was earlier, second half of the store. So from the front door you come to the checkout area, and then here's some more patterns and stuff done in categories, like flowers and birds and places. You get birds. There's one of the Kitty and Me designs. That's the patriotic bird. And then over here you've got more. Look at that. Debbie's designs. These are all the ones that you do on canvas. These are the canvas work patterns here that they carry. So I'm going to flop you back over here. This is from the front door. Walking back towards the workroom in the bag. And these are just miscellaneous category pieces.
Still doing okay?
Yep, thank you. And then past the counted stuff, you get into the memorabilia and lavender and lace. This is pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. Look at that. Look at that. Look. Look at the pretty ladies. Look at all the pretty ladies. Step back so you can take a look at the wonder. Look at all the mirrors and Nora Corbett's. And then here's the lavender and laces with more Noras. Look at these witches, you guys. Look at her. So, I have to pick her up. So, and look, they have artisty cross stitch designs as well. Pretty ladies, some black swans mixed in here. Lavender and lace. Find her. Look at this. Right. Oh, and then so.
Are you still shouting?
Yeah.
You're from Ohio?
Yep.
Long ago?
Yeah, it is.
Pushing socks.
Yeah, I got pushing socks on. I have all kinds of goofy socks.
Oh, I also like fun socks. I'm wearing Bob Ross socks today.
Uh-oh, I found the clearance stuff.
There's a bunch of good stuff in there.
Yeah, so, and then that goes back to the stitching room, or the thread room, and then back towards the front.